Like if are attacking Teslas or dealerships, going beyond vandalism, that could be an act of domestic terrorism. But I do want to ask about this as resistance. Is this what resistance should look like?
So Trump thinks that if you try to kill cops to overthrow the government and change an election, that's not domestic terrorism, but somehow having a protest in front of a Tesla dealership is. The bottom line with Trump is freedom and liberties belong to people who agree with him, and that's it. That's his view of America. That's not a view that people who believe in our Constitution share.
In on the mainstream media, because as we've seen this week, Donald Trump is rightfully cracking down on the violent attacks on Tesla. Ever since Elon Musk has been working with Donald Trump and leading Doge, cutting waste and abuse, yes, God forbid, because the millions in DEI projects overseas and millions sent to terror organisations should not be stopped. But since Doge has been getting to work, which was promised during the election, the attacks on Tesla cars, the dealerships and charging stations have been getting out of control. They've been vandalised, cars have been set alight. Now, Donald Trump isn't going to sit back and let this happen in his country. He's made it clear that people carrying out these violent attacks, they're domestic terrorists. But hosts from MSNBC, they have an issue with that. Apparently, they don't have a problem with violence being used against American companies. Here they are trying to downplay the issue, defending the violence as protests.
overnight have this post claiming that protests at Tesla dealerships are illegal. He said today he would label violence against dealerships domestic terrorism. Now, you know I am judicious in how I play this sound, but I think you need to hear it from him.
Mr. President talks about some of the violence that's been going on around the country at dealerships. Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists.
I will do that. I'll do it. I'm going to stop them. We catch anybody doing it because they're harming a great American company. Let me tell you, you do it to Tesla and you do it to any company, we're going to catch you and you're going to go through hell.
So just to be clear, you protest a private company, you are labeled by this administration a domestic terrorist.
So is it because it's Elon Musk's company that's being targeted? They're now standing up for the, quote, protesters. What would they like to see more of? Violence against American companies? But it's not just MSNBC. Left-wing independent outlets are straight up encouraging violent attacks on Tesla. This post on Cheek Media celebrates that Tesla stock prices have dropped dramatically, and so has Elon Musk's net worth. And it says boycotts and protests work. Just to read that last part again, protests work. Look, I've got no issue with peaceful protests on really any issue, but that's not what we've been seeing here, and it is fake news to suggest that it is. We've been seeing violence, vandalism, and cars and charging stations being torched. And celebrating and encouraging this is sick. Instead of celebrating violence, maybe look at some of the results that Doge is delivering, because right now Elon Musk is cutting waste, fraud and abuse and trying to stop the country from going bankrupt. Founder of Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk, summed this up perfectly. Only Trump could make liberals hate electric cars.